Hoops talk for the streets.
Closing out the show, I wanted to specifically ask you this question to get your input. You've been coaching before a long time, as we know, so I know you understand all the nuances of coaching and what it actually takes, to be a good coach and to actually coach your team. But when it comes to this particular playoffs, right, I wanted to ask you, which do you think will be the most important factor in this playoffs? Either home court advantage or more important of a factor in this playoffs, home court advantage or coaching?
It's a really great question. It depends on the team, probably, because I worry about a team like Golden State. I think Memphis also has the best home record.
Yeah, they do.
And they might
Number
play
2
each
seed,
other.
best home record. Yeah, they could play each other in the first round.
Which they did last year.
Yep.
But I'm a coach, so I'm completely biased. I'd say coaching. I thought, as an example, Quinn Snyder built the best regular season team. Like the Jazz of a couple of years ago were almost on the level of the regular season Warriors, if you look at advanced metrics. And I thought he was a terrible postseason coach.
He did not make a lot of adjustments at all.
He stuck with what he wanted to do. He got panicky and would refuse to play his bench, which was murdering teams.
Yep.
He had a couple great bench lineup. They didn't really play much in the playoffs. That was him panicking, I thought.
Left Gobert out for way too long also in the series as well.
Right. So I think... like when I watched Ty Lue for 4 straight years, and ironically, he won the first year, but he got better every year. He got better every year,
Yes.
Coaching all those playoff games. You can't help but get better. And I think it's really shaped him as a coach now. He's super pragmatic. I love that. He has no pride. He's just trying to figure out ways to win. I love that. Yeah. He's going to be scary. If you put him on the Lakers, I think they'd be the best team in the West. I really do.
Ooh. Okay.
But he has to go to Lakers. So I think coaching matters a lot.
Yeah.
And it's not just about strategy, although it's a lot. It's also mindset, getting guys to believe in themselves when you're down, 2-1, 3-2.
Yes.
I think that really matters. And because of it, the guys that are proven a little bit, I think have an advantage over the ones like Darvin, who I think Darvin will be a fine coach one day. I just thought it'll be this year. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they'll win it all. They have a lot of talent, loaded with talent. They're deep. And they have LeBron, and they have AD, who's one of the best players in the world right now. When he's healthy, he's one of the best players. Not always healthy. Willie Green's may get Zion back, and we'll see how that goes. Brandon Ingram, Phoenix knows we don't want any part of that dude. Right? Ingram is an unbelievable scorer.
That's going to be a battle, man.
Well.
Yep.
Yeah. So if Zion I saw Zion in person. I went to a Nuggets game against the Pelicans last week. Zion is very heavy to me. He's lost weight from 2 months ago, but he's not ready to play in the postseason. But we all know what he can be when he's healthy and in shape. So I think Willie, really, his team loves him. They're playing top 5 defense right now. I think they're number 1 in defense the last few weeks.
Yep.
Zion changes their offense right away. That's a factor. Those guys really play for him. But yeah, I always kind of lean towards good coaching.
Yeah, I like that you said that, man. Because we 2 for 2. I'm going to agree with you there because I thought about it also as well. At first, I thought home court advantage. But in this particular playoffs, when all of the teams are very stacked against each other, all teams are very evenly talented.
Right.
So one team's weakness is another team's strength. And it really all depends on matchups in this particular postseason. Matchups and health, of course. But I'm going to go coaching on this. I think it's more important in this coaching because, like I said, the players is a very tight this year. And I think the coach that has the most clever in-game adjustments or game-to-game adjustments, I think is going to be the team that advances the highest in this playoffs because I'm looking for a very tactical playoffs this postseason. I think there's going to be a lot of coaches who have some sneaky strategies. I think there's going to be a lot of lineup adjustments from game to game. I think the coaches are really going to be in their bag this playoffs because I really think they're going to be trying very, very hard because it's going to be really hard to find your advantage over another team that's just as good as yours. Like what type of
edge?
Yeah, like what type of advantage are you really going to have? So I think there's going to be a lot of really, really tactical coaching adjustments in this particular playoffs. And we were talking about the Mavs earlier. The reason why I think they beat the Suns last season in that playoff series, I don't think they were a better team than the Suns. I don't think they were a more talented team than the Suns. But I think Jason Kidd actually outcoached Monty Williams in that series. And I was very surprised about that because they attacked Ayton a lot. They used a lot of full court pressure. They really brought about that idea of really how to attack the Phoenix Suns with putting full court pressure for the entire series on Chris Paul. So really disrupted the Phoenix Suns offense. And then Monty Williams just didn't adjust in that particular series. We looked in that Celtics series against Warriors. Ime Udoka made some tactical adjustments in regards of adjusting lineups also as well, keeping Rob Williams in and out of the lineup. So I think because I can't even say top heavy, because there are a lot of teams that can actually, beat some of those top teams, especially in the Western Conference. But I think the coaches are really in for. I think the coaches might be coaching for an extra contract or extra couple of years on their contract in this playoffs, because I think it's going to be like extremely, extremely tactical in this postseason. And I think it actually makes for a great postseason. I think it's going to be a lot more X's and O's being really really being spotlighted in this particular postseason. And I'm a basketball junkie, so I'm very interested into seeing the adjustments that all of the coaches make. I'm going to be diving into each one of those teams, and I think it's going to be a madhouse with the adjustments. I'm just actually excited to see those type of tactical adjustments from coaches. So do you think, obviously you think coaching is going to be more important. Do you think there is any way that home court could be more important than coaching in this playoffs, or is coaching and that's it?
I mean, normally in the playoffs, we look at three-point shooting as a huge variable.
Yes.
And teams tend to shoot better at home.
Yeah.
So that's where you see it. And so to your point on tactics, your job defensively is to take that away as best you can. Offensively, you want to counter with, okay, do we get free throw line more? Do we get what I call first box, second box shots, which are in the paint? This is where the game's going to be played. And the coach that has the steady voice, the steady hand, that comes up with a strategy and pivots if needed, or doesn't pivot, which I thought last year the Celtics had a certain style to play against Steph. They basically let Steph do what he wants, and he was murdering him. And they kind of changed. And I thought they were trying to wear him down, but they changed what they were doing. And I thought that took a lot of life from them. And Golden State rolled them 3 straight games.
Absolutely.
Also, Jason Tatum was exhausted from playing the Olympics. I thought that was the biggest difference. Boston was the best team, I thought.
Also, the Heat beat them up in the series prior to. They beat them up in that series.
That wore him down too. That combination.
Tough
so,
series.
So that's not no Olympics this summer. So no one should say that. That's why you'll see some guys missing these games. Jokic is resting now. He's got a calf issue, but he's also resting. They should still lock up the first seed. So the best players have to play great, and the coaches that build a system where the role players play really well have a big advantage.
Yeah, it's going to be really crazy, and I'm very interested to see what lineup adjustment. And I think that's going to dictate. I think the coaching adjustments obviously affect the playoff outcomes, which will also affect the narrative, I think, around a lot of players in the league. Like the Jokic narrative about him winning MVPs and maybe not getting out of the first round. Maybe who knows what will happen with that. We don't know what type of adjustments, because the Nuggets could lose if the team that they face makes some great adjustments and really counteract a lot of their weaknesses. We're going to see that for a lot of teams. So I think it's going to be really interesting. And I think coaches are going to have a lot more importance over this postseason, I think maybe more than any other, or more than a lot more recent past. So we're going to see how that goes. I'm definitely going to be hitting you up too and seeing what you think about a lot of these coaching adjustments as well. And definitely want to get your input in that as well.